welcome to my North Knit Corner. My name is Anne and I come to you from the south of Norway. Here I live with my husband and our 3 boys. And you are so welcome here. Welcome if you have been here before, and welcome if you are here for the first time. Here in my knitting corner, I talk about knitting, of course. And if you love knitting as much as I do, I hope that you want to take some time, sit down, find your craft, something good to drink, and spend a little while together with me. I have information about everything I talk about in the description box below this episode. And of course, I have timestamps on this episode, so if it's something that you're not interested in listening to, you can easily skip it. Before we start, I would like to introduce you to a little guest that's right here by my side. Say hello. Hello. This is Muka. He is a Jack Russell Terrier and he is 13 weeks. And he's a cute little guy that moved into our house about a week ago. So I have to have him here because if I let him run around in the house, it can easily be a lot of accidents. So I hope that he will behave himself and just sleep beside me here. I hope so. Yes, he's a very, very, very nice knitting dog. He's been laying beside me right here while I'm knitting, and it's so nice. He hasn't tried to eat my yarn or my needles, so I'm very happy about that. So that is the new family member here. Yes. Can you sleep now? Before we go into FOs, I will tell you what I'm wearing. I had hoped to wear something that was recently finished, but yeah, I will tell you about it later. But it didn't end up like I wanted, so I am wearing oldie but a goodie. It's the Stockholm sweater by Petite Knit. I knitted this in 2020 in 2 strands of Sanne's thin silk mohair in the color brown sugar. I have no notes for this sweater because I didn't know Ravelry existed in 2020. I had never heard about it before, so and I didn't write notes either. This was before I started to podcast and get very organized with my knitting. Yeah, but I really love it. It's a drop shoulder, very oversized, very cozy, and today it's freezing cold here in Vennesla, where I live, both inside and outside, so it's the perfect sweater to cuddle up in. We can start with something that, if you've been here before, you've seen this come as a repeat in many episodes now. But I love this pattern, so it will continue to come throughout at least this year, I think. I think I have to knit some more of these. But it's the Christmas Morning Socks by Vivian Aas. As I've said before, sadly it's only in Norwegian, but it's a very nice sock pattern. I have knitted the size 44 to 47. These are EU sizes. I don't know what it is in US or other places in the world, but in Europe it's 44 to 47. So they are really big. These are for my father-in-law. Hopefully he will fit them. I am a bit concerned because of course it's color work, so I hope it's loose enough. I have to have my husband try them on. These feet are much more shorter, but I'm sure they are about the same around the ankle. Yeah. But I've chosen the tree chart this time. It's 4 different charts you can choose from. It's a snowflake, it's hearts, and it's a reindeer and trees. I've knitted in Viking Norweigan, and I have used the color 819, which is the brown. The white is 800, and I have knitted these on 3 and 4 millimeter needles, and they weigh 125 grams. I have used the shadow wrapped heel, which has become a favorite heel. In the pattern, it's heel flap and gusset, but I love the shadow wrap heel because it's so fast to knit, and I'm lazy. So let's continue with some Christmas presents. I've knitted a couple of more hot water bottle covers. I've used the hot water bottle cover pattern from Emily Boldouin, which is free on Ravelry. I have 2 here, and the first one is this. This is knitted in Drops Fiesta, which is the new sock yarn from Drops. It's a DK yarn. It's 110 meters on 50 grams. I have used the color, what's the color? 2 light beige and number 6 fog, which is the blue one here. I've used some charts from the Christmas morning socks, both the hearts and the snowflakes, and just put in some stripes. Yeah, really like it. I've knitted on 2.5 and 3.5 millimeter needles, US 1.5 and 4, and this weighs 74 grams. The next one is this was newly bought yarn, but the next one is knitted in scraps, which is it's perfect for scraps. Here it is. This is knitted in several different yarns. So the gray one is Drops Lima. It's a wool alpaca blend, 90-10 ash gray, and the red or the maroon color here is also Drops Lima. It's 90-23. Then it's Sandnes Pergynt, which is the coffee beans. It's 25-64 golden brown. Then I've used some Sandnes Smart, which is the blue heathered. It's the light color, which is 63-24. The dark blue, I don't know why, but I haven't written down the colorway number. But I think it's either Pergynt or Smart. I'm not sure. But I will put it all beside me here, all the information. Yeah. So I have already put in the hot water bottle covers, which I bought at the... We have a chain here in Norway called Normal or Normal, which sells all different kind of things, all from hair products, makeup to, yeah, hot water bottles and candy, and it's a cheap, yeah, cheap kind of store. It's not expensive there. I don't know what you call that. It's not like a dollar store, but something like, yeah. It's cheaper to buy things there often. They have all different kind of things. I have used the coffee beans. I have used from a chart from the book Charming Colorwork Socks by Stone Knits. The coffee cup is from a chart that I found on Pinterest that was free, and I just calculated into the stitches that I had from the pattern, hot water bottle pattern, and I just try to put the motifs where I could. So I think this was very cute. I liked coffee, so this is not for me, but it's for a friend who also loves coffee. So that is, it also weighs 74 grams, by the way. That is 2 Christmas gifts, and I have one more finished Christmas gift hanging here on the wall. Another pair of socks. People around me really like knitted socks, which I'm very happy about. This is also knitted in Drops Fiesta, the DK sock yarn from Drops. They have also some Drops Fiesta print yarn, which is really fun. It's not exactly self-striping, but it's a lot of colors and a lot of things happening, which is fun. And this is 21 Sea Captain. The blue is number 6 Fog, which I have used for cuff, heel and toe. The pattern that I've used is the DK Vanilla sock pattern from the Crazy Sock Lady. It's free on Ravelry. And I have just used another heel. I think it's also the heel flapping gusset in that pattern, but I used the shadow wrap heel, of course. So these I have knitted on 3mm needles, which is US. Haven't I written that? I don't know. Again, if I don't remember, I will have it on the side or down in the description box. But I am knitted on 3mm needles, and they weigh 89 grams. Several Norwegian knitting podcasters have gone together to make something they have called Lappestafetten, and I have translated that to the square relay. So every month a new Norwegian podcaster, knitting podcaster, is making a pattern for little square, and we can either make a blanket or you can knit dishcloths or something like that. And there's also a knit along every month. And this month it's a podcaster called Moba, and this is Moba's little square. I've knitted this in Hillesvåg Tinde, 100% Norwegian wool, in the color Petrol, and the color number is 2105. I'm knitted on needle 3.5, and that is US 4. Very nice. So I'm going to make a blanket. So yeah, that will be very nice. It weighs 24 grams. So I'm starting to get a few squares now, but I think I will wait to sew them together until I have a few more, because of the color, where to put the different colors, because I'm knitting many different colors. Then let's talk about the FO that I hoped to be wearing today. But before I tell you what happened to it, I can tell you it's the Nordic Noel sweater by Annie Juti Knits. She released this last Friday, I think. And I have been eyeing this pattern ever since she started to show it on her podcast and on Instagram. And I bought the yarn a long time ago and was ready to cast on right away when it came out. I have knitted it in Drops Daisy, which is 100% non-superwash merino wool. in the color 1 Nature, 18 dark blue green, and 21 red. I have knitted the size 2, and yeah, it weighs 455 grams. On needles, 2.5, 3.5, and 4 millimeter needles, US 1.5, 4, and 6. And why am I telling you all of this without showing you the sweater? I will show you the sweater, and maybe you won't see the problem far away. Here it is. It's still very wet. I will show it a bit closer. Maybe you can see the problem then. I'm not sure you actually can see it, but I can see it and feel it. It is felted. I'm so sad. There were almost tears yesterday when I saw that it has felted. Yes, because I have really been knitting and knitting and knitting. I used 4 days on this sweater because I wanted it done for Christmas, for December. Yeah. And I always soak my knits and rinse them and put it in the spin dryer, and I don't have a problem with it. I've done that ever since I started to knit and never had any trouble. Only once where I knitted the terrazzo slipover by Seat Knit, and it felted a bit in the collar, but I can still wear it. It doesn't really matter because it's just warm and turned out very nice actually. But I've never had any issues with just soaking my FOs and put it in the spin dryer. But this time it went bad. So it's not that it's not wearable, but I can not use it because it's too small for me. It's shrinked a bit and it's very compact and thick. So that is very sad. I have learned a lesson this time, and I don't think it's very fun to share with you my mistakes, but I think it's important. But I have to be honest, I don't usually read the washing information on the ball bands of the yarn. I just do as I always do. But I went back after this happened and read the washing information on the label, and it says, do not soak. Yes, do not soak. And what did I do? I soaked it. Yes, it's very sad. But it's a mistake I have to live with, and I just have to accept how it is. It's nothing to do with it. Maybe, hopefully, some child can use this sweater. Hopefully, I can give it to someone who can use it, and I will just have to knit another one. It's just that plain and simple. So just take a lesson from me, learn from me, learn from my mistake. If you knit with Drop Stacy, do not soak. Don't do it. You will regret it. So that is my very fun Christmas sweater that I cannot wear. And yeah. And it's just, I can just feel how it's just so heavy right now because it's still so wet, even though it's been drying on the floor, on the warm. We have this, I don't know what it's in English, but in the floor we have heating. And the heating was on, but it has been there for 24 hours and it's still very, very wet. So do not soak. since I had this trouble with the yarn from or the Drop Stacy yarn, I was a little bit angry with it. I have a little bit left because I had some balls left. Of course, I always have yarn left after I've knitted some projects, some sweaters, because I guess they overestimate the yarn a little bit in the patterns to make sure that you have enough. I don't know, but I still have quite a few balls of yarn left from this sweater, and I don't want to have this yarn in my stash. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy knitting with the yarn, and if I only wash it as it's recommended, of course it wouldn't be a problem. It's all on me, but I just have a little bit anger against the yarn right now. I have another project or sweater quantity in the Drop Stacy in my stash, which I will use, but then I have to be very careful with my washing. But I wanted this used up, and I wanted to make something that I didn't have to wash. And Petite Knit just gave out a very cute little ornament pattern for the, I don't remember the name of the pattern because I haven't written notes for this, because I cast it on last night and after I had written my notes. But I think it's something like a festive caramel or something. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, at least when I saw it last. And it's these two very cute festive ornaments. Little caramel. They are so cute. So I've used the Drops Daisy. I've used, what's it called again? The 21 red and the white is One Nature. And this was so quick to knit. I used about 40 minutes on one. And it's very simple and easy and fun. And I knitted these on, I think, 3mm needles, and then you crochet a little border with some silver thread, silver yarn. Can you see it? I think she had, Petite Knit used a little like a fussy silver thread, but I only had this very thin, almost like sewing thread silver thing that I used. So I took the thread and I took 4 strands of it together to crochet around. It's very fiddly. The silver thread is no fun to work with, but I think it looks very cute and festive. So I want to make more of these. I have still this, and I have another ball of the red. I have more of the petrol or the light dark blue-green color. So I think maybe I can make some Christmas trees or something. I just want to make a lot of small ornaments with them. And I think it can be fun as when I give a little thing to my neighbor for Christmas, I can put it in, and maybe like a little extra on the Christmas gifts. When I wrap it, I can put it outside, and you can put in a little thread, and you can put it on your Christmas tree. Yeah, I thought that was a very fun little project, and it was exactly what I needed yesterday when I was so sad and angry. So yeah, I can really recommend this little pattern. I only have a couple of things on my needles right now. The Paul Klee sweater that I showed you last time, it's in hibernation right now. I think it will be back in rotation in January. Hard month to say, January. I think it's so much fun to knit on, but I have a few Christmas gifts to knit, and in December I have some plans for my knitting, so I think it can take a rest for a while, and it will absolutely be back in the new year. But I'm still knitting on the sweater for my 18-year-old son. He requested a zipper sweater light man. It's a pattern from Petite Knit. And of course, will happily knit him a sweater. And I'm knitting this in the yarn from Sannes called Smart. It doesn't look really great right now. It's a lot of mess, right? With all of this hanging from the sweater, but as you can see, I have done some progress, and I'm now only knitting round and round and round, which is perfect. It's not something that I knit on every day, because right now I'm trying to finish Christmas presents. I would hope to have this as a Christmas present, but he knows about the sweater, so if I don't finish it in time, it's okay. And I'm not going to stress with it. The Sannes Smart is 100% wool, I think. Yeah, 100% wool. And it's the color 2650 light gray beige. I am knitting this on 3.5. No, not true. Yes, it's very true. 3.5, and 4mm needles, US 2.5, 4, and 6. And it's not really much to say. I am knitting along on this, and yeah, hopefully it will be a great sweater if I can do a good job with the zipper. I've never sewn in a zipper before, but a lot of you really encouraged me and said that you had done it and it went fine. So hopefully it will be nice. I hope so. So that is the zipper sweater, and then I am knitting on some socks, because I have several people in my family who really love knitted socks. Especially my mother-in-law, she always enjoys getting some knitted socks, and I will happily knit her socks. This yarn that I'm knitting these socks in, I bought in Germany when we were there this summer. This yarn is actually my 9-year-old who chose, because he wanted grandma to have socks in this yarn. And it's Opal Rainforest. It's a thin sock yarn. The colorway name was in German, and I don't speak German. So I tried to use Google Translate to find out the color name, but I only found out that one of the words meant ghost train. So something ghost train is the colorway. I am using the pattern Heel Toe Do-Si-Do from the Crazy Sock Lady, because I think it's a great pattern for this kind of yarn. It's the chevron pattern on the front of the sock. It's a really fun yarn to knit with. I love the crazy combination of colors. And I have started on number 2. I tried to make them as similar as possible with the colors. So doing some color management. I think I've done a good job. Yes, I think it looks really nice, actually. Almost the same. So that is good. It's not that it's a big deal for me, but I think it's kind of fun to try and make them match. And I have done the shadow wrap heel again. In the pattern, it's the heel flapping gusset, but I like the shadow wrap heel. Yes, so that is actually everything I am knitting on right now. I'm using 2.25 millimeter needles because it's thin sock yarn, and that is the needle I use on my thin socks. So this will soon be finished, I hope. I always use this kind of light bulb stitch markers when I'm not knitting 2 at a time, and I'm not doing that now because I only have 1 ball of yarn. So I didn't want to, of course you can knit from both sides, but I thought that was very fiddly. And so I use the stitch markers just to count every 10th row, so I know how long they are, so they can be perfectly even. I have some Yarnjoy coming in the mail. That was not the plan, but since it all went wrong with the Nordic Noel sweater, I immediately ordered some new yarn, which is already on its way. So, because I want to knit this Nordic Noel sweater, I think it looks great. I ordered some drops. I think I ended up with drops Charisma instead because it's a budget-friendly yarn. If I really wanted the Sandnes or something like that, but it's almost the third time the price. So, and since it's a Christmas sweater, I really wanted to, and I already spent some money on the other yarn for the sweater. I didn't really want to use a lot of money. So I ended up with, I think, Drops Charisma or Drops Lima, I'm not sure. So I'm excited to knit it again, hopefully with a better result. Hopefully. But other than that, it's only to keep on knitting Christmas gifts. More socks. I hope to make some fingerless mitts, maybe a hat and maybe a cowl for family members and friends. And I would love to be done by December, but it's only 1.5 weeks left. So, yeah, maybe not. But I will try not to stress with my knitting for Christmas because I want it to be cozy and fun to knit gifts for my friends and family. So, just, yeah. But I think the next week I really want to just knit on all the gifts. Try to finish up most of it before I get too close to Christmas Eve. Yeah. And then I have an advent calendar coming in the mail from Through the Wardrobe Yarn. It's a Narnia inspired advent. And I think I'm going to knit the Radvent cardigan this year. That would be a lot of fun. So we'll see. I will try to maybe knit a little bit on that cardigan every day throughout December. That is a goal. We'll see. And there is also a mystery hat that a lady here in Norway makes every year for free. You can follow along on Instagram, and it's a hat. You get a few rows every day to knit. So I want to do that. That is usually very fun and very fun to knit along with a lot of other people. And yeah, I think that's my plans for December. I want to knit more Christmas ornaments. That was a lot of fun too. So maybe I will do that a little bit throughout December as well. But we'll see. I will try not to stress. That is one of my goals. I hope the same for you. December can be very busy with a lot of things, a lot of activities, a lot of preparation, but I really hope that you will be able to breathe and take one step at a time, one day at a time. Yeah, and try to, even though you have a lot of things to do, just try to breathe and be centered. That is my plan for myself anyway, to do as best I can and not get wrapped up in all the Christmas stress. Oh, because I really like the cozy, the comfy Christmas time, and I want it to be cozy and not stressful. So let's try that. Before I let you go, I would love to recommend a few podcasts for you. One of them is brand new and it's called Kath and Stitches. It's Catherine and she is based in France, and she has only one episode out, but it was very nice to watch her podcast episode. She's really calming, and she has a lot of beautiful knits to show, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to keep on following her channel, and highly recommend that you go in and look at her and subscribe if you liked it. So Kath and Stitches, highly recommend. And the other one I want to recommend is Maddie from Buyer Thread Knits. She is such an adorable person, if that's a okay thing to say, but she's just so much fun. She's so upbeat, and I laugh a lot when I watch her podcasts because she's just a lot of fun. And she also knits beautiful things, and it's so creative. So highly recommend her as well. Buy a Thread Knits. So Kath and Stitches and Buy a Thread Knits. Go and check them out. That is everything I have for you today. I think this is the last podcast of the year because I'm planning to do Vlogmas. So that will start in just about a week. Hopefully I can be able to put out a little snippet every day. I hope so. I don't lead the most exciting life, but I think it's a lot of fun to make Vlogmas. I enjoy watching other people's Vlogmas, and think it's so cozy to see how other people decorate, what they do in the preparation for their celebration, and So hope that you will follow along a few of my episodes in December. That would be really nice. And I hope that you are well wherever you are in the world, and that you take care of yourself. Remember to breathe and not stress in December. And I will see you in the first episode of Vlogmas. I really look forward to that. This dog is really sleeping. He loves to sleep, but maybe I can trick him to say goodbye. Should we say goodbye to the lovely people? Bye, everyone. Bye, friends. See you soon.